Jamaica Republic rejected, £50 billion accepted. Jamaica is the jewel in the British crown once again. The UK has just loaned Jamaica £5 billion on favourable terms in January 2025 and have taken charge of Jamaica's offshore oil fields via UK companies. This could be a bright new dawn in the Jamaica-UK relationship, bringing back the glory days to Jamaica. Before independence, Jamaica was called the jewel in the British crown. Well, that's about to happen again, my friends. The phrase jewel in the crown is most commonly associated with British India, but Jamaica was also considered a significant and valuable part of the British Empire, especially during the 18th century, when sugar was a highly sought-after commodity. In 1774, the white residents of Jamaica were the richest group of people in the British Empire. They probably had more influence within the British imperial state than any other colonial subjects of King George III. On the eve of the American Revolution, Jamaica was undoubtedly the jewel in the British imperial crown. With the UK loaning the funds to Jamaica to build out our infrastructure, including airports, bridges, highways, roads, and our agricultural infrastructure, Jamaica is well on its way to see double digits increase for the next 2 to 3 decades. Quite similar to how China has had almost double digits growth for the past 30 years, continuously on average. However, there is only one industry that can easily be calculated and predicted to ensure that Jamaica has double digits growth for the next 30 years on average. This is the tourism industry, growing by 20% every year or adding 1 million extra visitors every year to Jamaica until we have the same number of visitors as Singapore, that is 20 million visitors every year by 2040. Tourism along with agriculture is a fool's safe way of seeing Jamaican growing by 10% per year on average for the next 30 years. Alongside tourism, the one industry that can ensure that Jamaica keeps inflation under control over the next 30 years during our 10% growth rate each year. This is our agricultural industry, which needs to grow by 20% every year, on average for at least the next 15 years. This would equate to Jamaica agriculture, moving from a $1 billion industry in 2025 to becoming an $8 billion industry by 2040. Hence, while tourism would be the main driver to produce our wealth, our agricultural production would keep inflation under control and ensures our stability. As we will not need to import much of the food to cater for the extra number of visitors or to feed our growing Jamaican middle class. At 20 million visitors each year by 2040, this would add $20 billion each year to the Jamaican economy. I'm deliberately calculating that by 2040, each visitor will be spending the same amount of money as they are spending in 2025, as Jamaica is currently too expensive for many tourists to visit. Since the pandemic, Jamaica has become one of the most expensive islands to visit in the Caribbean. This needs to stop as we are currently losing tourists because of the high prices to visit Jamaica. Both the airlines and the hotels are cashing in on the lack of hotel spaces and the very few flights that are available to the tourists who want to visit Jamaica. This is why I agree with the Jamaican government in taking whatever money that they can get from the British government to sort out our infrastructure, even if it means delaying our republic status. Jamaica have already received £5 billion in the first quarter of 2025. It could be that we just need another £15 billion from the UK government, or even from China if the UK government is dragging its feet. Then the other £30 billion from the £50 billion can come from the foreign direct investments. These are the investors who will be building the 120 mega-large hotels all across Jamaica over the next 5 years to be completed by 2030. This will just be the first phase of Jamaica's mega-large hotel building program, as 120 hotels at 1,000 rooms each can only accommodate 5 million visitors per annum. Hence, the money that Jamaica is receiving from the UK is not to build the hotels, but to provide the infrastructure, so that the hotel industry can spread equitably all over Jamaica, where people really need those hotel jobs, especially on the south coast of Jamaica, where there are very few tourism activities taking place. For example, we need an airport in Negril to host 2 million visitors that will be visiting the parishes of Westmoreland and Hanover. We need another airport in Black River to host 1.5 million visitors who will be visiting St. Elizabeth and Manchester. This will be an additional 2.5 million visitors to Jamaica each year, as Negril and its surrounding areas already have 1 million visitors each year. The already received £5 billion loan from the UK would also be spent on other infrastructure programs, such as the 55 new bridges already in the process of being built by British companies. Also, to complete the southern coastal highway leg from Mandeville to Montego Bay. Then the northern coastal highway, at a cost of almost £2 billion, and many other smaller projects of approximately £200 million each. Jamaica would then need to go through a second phase of building another 120 mega-large hotels between 2030 and 2040 to add another 5 million visitors to our mega-large hotel model. However, while the mega-large hotel programs are going on, this will open up the avenue for a massive expansion of Airbnb and small Jamaican-owned hotels springing up all over Jamaica. These small family dwellings will add another 5 to 6 million visitors to Jamaica each year, bringing the total number of visitors to Jamaica to 20 million visitors each year. All this will do is to bring Jamaica in line with other Caribbean countries' visitor numbers per capita by 2040. Bearing in mind also that Singapore, which is just over half the size of St. Elizabeth, had 20 million visitors in 2019. Hence, if a country which is smaller than one parish in Jamaica can have 20 million visitors in 1 year, why can't the whole of Jamaica have 20 million visitors in 1 year?